All right, this is Paiute Creek. Takes about a day to get here from Pagadi Lake. You can see it's a nice big site, nice big spot, flat ground. We've got a creek coming in here. We got the main river here, and it was pretty cool. I was sleeping in this tent, and you could hear sockeyes swirling around all night. It was a really cool night to go to sleep. It was probably 70, 75 in the tent. Super lucky with this weather. Sat there listening to little Bob Seger on Brian's iPhone, and kind of just drifted off last night and fell asleep really early. Got a great night's sleep. They call this an Alaskan match. All right, just back from the coffee shop. This is the kind of morning I dreamed about when we set this trip up. Hey, one thing I was thinking about as I was going to sleep last night was we had a weather delay getting out of Papa Bear. And what we did is we rested, and we were anxious, we wanted to get out. But what we really should have done was put the tents up and put the cots up together as a group. Make sure everybody understands how they go together and make that first night setting up much easier. Like, we really struggled, not so much with the tents. I think generally we knew how those went together, but the bug tent was unique, and it's a really critical piece for us. And the cots were a really big one. These cots were just really hard to assemble. At least I couldn't figure it out. They weren't intuitive. The next day we did figure it out, but it did still take us, what, Dan, like still 20 minutes and in one personal time out to put the cots together. We should have put everything together and just made sure we had it. At a minimum, we should have at least looked at some YouTube videos to get comfortable with the assembly. And I think that would have really helped the first night out. And that first night, you know, if I did do it over again, I would have stayed at Pagadi Lake and then got to here on a one-day drift. But you know, that's part of getting experience. Is we've never been on this river before. You know, the terrain is completely different here. I think it's a lot more conducive to camping, at least so far from what I've seen. We passed a couple sites that were definitely doable, and we took the first one we could in the upper river. I would blow past the upper river. I would at least get to Paiute Creek before thinking about setting up camp. And if you can get to this location, you know, it'd be great. I mean, I tried to shoot some video of it, how great it is. It's really a spectacular place to camp. You could spend a couple days here really if you wanted to and be really content. So,
minor mistake I think we made is we got obsessed with the whole river looks fantastic. It's gorgeous water, and you're tempted to want to try to fish every inch of it. That said, this has been a blast. This is really big. It's an adventure, isn't it, Dave? Yeah. It's a true adventure.
Yeah, I'd echo that. It's an adventure. I expect to make some mistakes, learn along the way. I'll try to pass on at least our experiences. Maybe other people can learn from them. This is a pretty amazing morning to sit here with my brother, have some coffee over a fire. So we're going to break down camp here in a little while and get on the way.
There are tracks all around it.
All right, the last man's up. Good morning, Brian.
Well, good morning.
How was the sleep?
Oh. Hey, you take a cot with a really good quality air mattress, sleep just like a Select Comfort.
I have a little bit of the river behind you. That was some pretty killer ambient noise we had last night.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, one other thing I was thinking about as we're sitting here by the campfire getting ready for our day is, one thing I wish we would have done was tell or ask Papa Bear to put both rafts in the first beaver flight. So there's two of us. We had 2,400 pound maximum, 1,200 pounds per beaver flight. If it would have worked out, if the math would have worked, it would have been better to put both rafts in the beaver plane so that when we landed first, we could have blown them up. It was about a 45-minute float plane ride to Lake Pagadi, and by the time our second beaver plane came, Dan and I, we were just sitting there fishing, going through gear. We could have been getting the rafts together. So just something we were thinking about as we're sitting here by the campfire drinking some coffee. Gearing up. All right, Dan got day 3 off to a start. We're still packing up rafts, and Dan wanted to see if a technique would work. So So you're 8 steps away from camp there, Dan. We haven't even left yet.
I know. And he got his first dolly.
Okay. All
Right at camp.
right. Yeah.
Lock your bail. There you go.
Set.
Boom.
Got it.
Nice. See, now you got the feel for it, Brian?
Oh.
Yeah. Take your time. You gotta wear him out a little bit.
He's a little guy.
Yeah. A good early morning fish.
You got pretty strong chest on here.
Yeah, you got
Craig's not coming
you got
up.
10 pounds.
He's pretty.
Nice looking fish. First Dolly Varden for Brian.
Stay right there. You're good.
There you go. Nice scoop, Mike.
Oh, Dolly
Nice
Varden.
scoop.
Oh,
Oh, what do you think, buddy?
oh, that makes me happy.
You can see us.
Even a lefty can catch a fish in Alaska. That's the way to kick off day 3, Brian. Oh, good one.
Look, there he is.
Rick, fast hands.
He got him good.
First one on a fly rod, so it's been a while. It's only the second fish on this rod. Not a big one. I'll take him. First one.
What we're living with.
Bear country, Brian. Nice one, Mike. Well, you know, you would have thought that was a snag there. You know, because you had 2 that looked like bottom. Third one was a charm. Never assume, you know. All right, we got a day 3. How we've packed. We've learned how to optimize our raft. We've taken out the floats in the middle and just deflated them and put them in the way back. Put all of our bags there and then just kind of built it up to the action packer. So now we can set our rods in nice. That's gonna be a lot better ride. We got nothing in the bow but a seat, nothing for the rower. And yesterday we didn't do it that way and I regretted it. So I've been kind of learning from watching Dan and Mike do it, but I think this is a good way. I got water on this side, fishing tackle on that side. Put Brian up front and he can hook some big fish.
Yep. The only challenge, get wet clothes. It's tough to get it dry up here. Got to get some sun on it or it doesn't dry.
Wet clothes in Alaska stay wet clothes.
Yeah, yep.
You'll be packing that in your luggage for Alaskan Airlines.
Yep.
All right, we got a double floating.
Bring it up and higher.
Hard to video that, but what do you got there, buddy?
I got me a fish. Look at this.
Oh, it still counts.
Look at
That was a leader touch.
Perfect. That
Found
is
it.
fun. Yes.
I've learned how to row from my brother Dan, who rows the Green River all the time, and I gotta say, it's a pretty fun part of the trip trying to navigate all these things. I really wasn't expecting it to be this this rugged. I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting that. So thought I'd show a little bit of the rapids. We haven't run across anything that I felt real dangerous. I mean, sometimes you come around a corner and there's a tree. You know, I guess they call them sweepers here, and you got to be a little mindful of that. But we've only had that, I guess, twice today, don't you think, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
Where we had some trees, but it's been pretty fun just rowing down the river today, and obviously we're having a pretty good day catching fish. So good day. Stop for a little Alaska lunch. I thought I'm going to introduce the crew quick. We got Mike Black, former NFL player. If you consider the Detroit Lions an NFL team.
Or a punter, a player.
I didn't want to mention that he was a punter, but he's also been to more All-Star games than anybody else. Brian Bentley, if you watch the channel, you've seen Brian Bentley. You know what he's about.
I'm the sidekick.
And then we got Dan Parson, my brother here.
Professional.
School teacher, professional fishing guide. And this is a do-it-yourself trip, but we got him on board, so we're doing all right. And I'm just along for the ride. Brian, I stopped recording Brian catching rainbows because he's whacking them so good. He got one with his line dangling. Brian, was your line dangling?
Yeah.
Don't bring it in. Don't let it swing. And if it stops, hit him. And all it feels like is a stop. I think on your next one, try casting this way. You're too far up here. And by the time it gets here, it's getting picked up off the front. We're short.
Whoa, that's a big one.
Mike!
Woo! Oh! Oh! Oh!
What a fish!
Oh my
What a
God!
fish!
That was 40 pounds.
And all it does is stop, right?
Yeah.
They just.
We were just trying to leave, and Dan all of a sudden whacked a silver.
Oh, hang on there. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a king salmon. He hasn't even really decided to fight yet. Get ready, he'll get really, really powerful. See what I mean though? You just got to keep kind of figuring out the weight so you get it right,
It's all the weight.
right into their face. Yeah, they're not willing to move very far. Might have to edge our way, Dave.
Okay.
Woo! Maybe we'll get a jump out of him yet. Sure is a kick in the pants when those big fish jump. That's not small.
No, he's 20.
Good job, Dave. Proud of you.
Well, he coached me on that for sure. Get shallow, buddy.
And that's not big enough.
Yeah, beach him. He's walking this way towards. Oh, oh, get him, Mike. Can you get him? No.
Well, that popped out, but that was a pretty cool experience. So thanks, Dan, for experimenting with the weight.
Yeah.
Or what did I hook that thing on?
Chartreuse clouser. This one's pretty well destroyed. We're gonna have to get a new one on there.
So you see him just hanging in the river. I mean, I don't know if the camera will pick him up. And he's just swinging that by him, but it's hard. I mean, it's serious technique that he's got. I can't do it, but you just keep changing the weight until you get it right in their face, and then they'll just pick it up and eat it, and boom, you're on.
Hey, tell us about that experience there.
Well, that was pretty cool. Dan just hooked another one. We are definitely in Alaska fishing salmon right now.
I think I got it.
I'll tell you about that experience, but we're gonna have one every 5 minutes the way this is going. This is some crazy fishing on the Kanektok. Oh, beauty, Dan. We got them surrounded, boys. Yeah! There we go, Mike.
Nice job, Mike.
The Detroit Lions got you ready to do this.
He just charged him.
Yeah, he did.
Wow, is that a pretty fish?
Like that was Derek McKinnon. No, who did you slam?
Dennis McKenna.
This guy tackled Dennis McKinnon so well, Walter Payton congratulate him for it. All right, back to the salmon.
Wow, that's beautiful.
All right, talk about that Dennis McKinnon shot.
It was punted the ball. It was me and him in the middle of the field. He got there, and I said, oh, is he going to go right? Or is he going to go left? And I guessed that he was going to go to the left, and that's the way I went. And I absolutely stuck him. And then I'm laying on top of him, and he goes, don't tell me you're the punter.
Punters are athletes too.
Yeah, did you see that charge?
Yeah. Dick Butkus. Decisions to be made. We can go right or left, but look at that big old tree there. I think we're going right, Brian. Mike's had this rainbow on for half a mile. We got our third day camp. Gonna be right here. We had a great day fishing, so we're gonna go get our reward. Now we planned this very carefully. We have 8 more days to go. which seems crazy. Did they ditch him? Or did they play a game on us? Is this an intervention?
You needed.
Oh, what do we have here?
There was a bear.
Oh,
For you.
black spruce.
And
Look at
it's
that.
cold.
It is cold. Whoa, Brian.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Great day fishing.
Whoa.
Celebrate living 3 days with this guy.
Oh. What's it gonna be like? We're gonna need a bottle of whiskey day 11.
What?
We got
We're gonna need
that.
a bottle of whiskey.
You
Anyway.
love them and you hate them all at the same time. I feel like I
Double
just
cheers.
walked through a desert and
3
found a
days.
bucket of water.
3 days in a boat with this guy.
Just gonna get
What happened, Mike?
we doubled up.
Well, Brian and I are setting camp up, though. I mean, our own tent. You guys already set your tent up while we were enjoying the beer. Brian, they got doubles over there. Chumming a sockeye.
Did they really? Well, it looks like an aquarium in that thing.
Yeah. All right, a little campsite double. All right, well, that's a wrap for day 3. There's fish swirling all around us. Let's see. Best part of the day was seeing Mike hook. It had to be a 40-pound king salmon. It just came blasting out of the river. Didn't land it, but it was worth it to see it. So that was awesome. Worst part of the day, honestly, is so sunny and hot. I don't know if you agree, Brian.
Yeah.
But our temperature is so hot. Like, we all brought warm clothes, and I'm just wearing, you know, a Columbia wicking t-shirt right now, and I really wish I had gym shorts on.
Yep.
So I'm gonna jump in the river before we go to bed. Best part of the day.
Catching a king salmon on a fly. I got 2 of them. Hooked 4, landed 2. I would say today was perhaps the best day of fishing of my life in many ways because of the salmon and a pile of Dolly Varden grayling. Got a grayling on a dry fly, which I always wanted to do, just right over here just a minute ago. Really a lot of fish and some big epic fish, like where you pull back on an 8-weight and you're giving it all you've got and your arm is throbbing and sore and cramped up and you're nowhere even close to having that. I mean, they're so powerful.
We don't have a guide. You're figuring it out. So
Yeah. Well, what we figured out today was to just use a little bit bigger egg and a little bit different color egg, and that just turned the tide. And so we were into fish all day today. What I've learned is if there is a pod of salmon or any salmon at all, run that bead right through them every single time.
yeah, there'll be dollies.
There'll be dollies, rainbows, and grayling in with them. Mostly dollies for us, but an assortment of other things too. And then any place where 2 currents come together, whether it's a tributary or a little channel that comes back in, but any place where those 2 currents come back together, whether there's sockeyes there or not, cast at that.
Today was, I don't have pictures of it. I took a little bit of video, but it doesn't do it justice. There was a lot of fish caught today. So.